Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
Build something that lasts and take pride in every step. Cirrus is hiring assemblers to help build the world's best-selling personal aircraft. We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and right now a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free. With transparent video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth. At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free, with transparent
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Duluth FC Soccer, brought to you by the Blue Green Stream team here on the Stadium Sports Network, alongside my color commentator, Coach Joe Mooney. This is Matt Johnson coming to you live from Marv Heikkinen Field at Walt Hunting Stadium here in Duluth, Minnesota, where the Blue Greens returning home after a friendly match last time out against Minneapolis City. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But Coach Mooney, returning to the NPSL North Conference schedule, are the Blue Greens here tonight as they take on Minnesota Blizzard. Second game of the season in the NPSL North here for Duluth FC, taking on a Blizzard team that is also 1-0, so it should be an interesting contest here tonight.
Yeah, man, you look out at the Minnesota Blizzard team and you see some familiar faces. You see a couple new faces out there as well. I don't think this will be the same side that struggled a little bit in their first year with the NPSL. I expect to see a pretty good matchup here tonight.
Duluth FC coming in this contest having won 2 games so far, drawn 1 thus far here in the season to date. They're returning to NPSL North Conference action after taking a 2-game hiatus. They defeated, of course, Joy Athletic by a score of 3-1 in their opener before playing the St. Croix Legends to a 3-3 draw last time they were here at Walt Hunting Stadium. That was a heck of a ball game. 4 goals scored in the last 5 minutes of that contest to make it a 3-3 contest. That game was played, of course, in Minnesota Super Cup action, and then they had that friendly against Minneapolis City SC on Saturday. Going back to that game against the Legends, Duluth FC trailed 1-0 at halftime before Alex Ruiz equalized early in the second half. That made it a 1-1 contest. The game remained 1-1 until Duluth FC took the first of 2 late-game leads for the Blue Greens in the 85th minute when Liam Pritchard netted the first goal of his 2025 season to make it 2-1 in favor of Duluth FC in the game, with the game even at 2 apiece. Noah Johnson scored off an assist from Pritchard to give the Blue Greens a 3-2 lead, but the Legends managed to even the contest on both occasions in extra time to send it to a 3-3 final score. Stefan Schenk, who will get the start, by the way, for the Blue Greens, a goal night, went all the way in goal, get that decision. And then the Blue Greens took a little bit of a hiatus, like I said, from NPSL North Conference action. This past Saturday, they went down to Edor Nelson Field down in Minneapolis, and they defeated Minneapolis City SC by the score of 2-0 in that contest. New arrival Raul Sadeo gave the Blue Greens the lead with his first goal of the season just over half an hour into the action before providing an assist on Ruiz's second goal of the season in the 45th minute to make it a 2-0 final in that one. And we're going to get a good chance to look at Sadeo. Coach Tomas Pazzo very high on the 6'5" forward from Ecuador, who scored 13 goals for his JC team this past year. He expects a lot out of him before the end of the season.
Yeah, Matt, I haven't seen him play live yet, but I will say Coach Paso sent me his highlight video, and there's a lot to be advertised there. Obviously, big player could be a target forward, but there's quite a bit of speed too when he turns and can run at a back line. He can cause a lot of problems, and so when you've got speedy players in around him, like a Liam Pritchard and some of the characters that'll be around him. I mean, obviously playing some of the knockdown balls and doing that, like he's got all that in his tools or in his toolkit, but he's got a lot more as well.
There you go. Look at the Duluth FC lineup here. The 3-4-3 formation, it looks like, here for head coach Tomas Pazzo and company. We talked about Sadeo. He will start up top. Adrian Mejia back in the lineup. Alex Ruiz, who's been really good so far, played 3 games for the Blue Greens, has 2 goals on the season. Tabo Malala, the first ever Duluth FC player from the small country of Lesotho, also getting started in the middle. And Liam Pritchard back wearing the captain's armband here tonight against Minnesota Blizzard.
Yeah, Matt, we mentioned Liam Pritchard obviously netted his first goal a little while back, and in his first couple of contests he was playing the number 9 role, playing that center striker role, but his natural position is back out on the wing. With the addition of a guy like Raul in there, it allows him to play back out in his kind of home preferred position, and he adds a lot of creativity and a lot of speed out there.
As for the Blizzard, they are 1-0 in the conference season. Forrest Randall, their head coach, they opened up their NPSL North campaign back on Sunday, May 18th, with a 3-0 shutout victory over Sioux Falls Thunder at Lakeville North High School, getting the game-winning tally from Jaden Morgan in the 28th minute. Take a 1-0 lead that went into the break. From there, the Blizzard went on to add tallies, 2 of them from Kian Magoe in the 52nd and 63rd minutes to make it a 3-0 final. Daniel Burgos went all the way in goal for the Blizzard to get that victory. So you have 2 teams with 3 points each. They're both on the field. And what we will do now is we will throw things over to our public address announcer, Pat Sterner, for the introduction of the 2 teams. We'll have the national anthem and then eventually the opening kick of this NPSL North Conference contest between the Blue Greens and Minnesota Blizzard. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Stick with us. This is Duluth FC Soccer here, brought to you by the Blue Green Stream team as part of the Stadium Sports Network.
3, Diego Connell. Number 6, Diego Navia. Number 7, David Morgan. Number 9, Roland Rock. Number 10, Devin Dorado. Number 11, Evan Knighton. Number 14, Elijah Bishop. Number 15, Evan Marino. Number 16, Carter Hermanson. Number 23, Ian Pagodu. Number 27, Company. The coach for the Blizzard, Forrest Wrangler. Assistant coaches, Derek Fuchsberger and Elijah Kessler, Pasadena. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please
So the national anthem has been played. The two teams have been introduced by our public address announcer for the evening, Patrick Sterner, and we are moments from getting this one underway here between the Blue Greens and the Blizzard, Minnesota Blizzard FC out of Lakeville, Minnesota. This is their second season as part of the MPSL North Conference. Duluth FC, of course, has been a club now for going on 10 years, has been I guess you could say kind of a staple in the MPSL North over the years. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. They'll meet again, by the way, on Saturday, June 14th at Lakeville North High School down in Lakeville. But this, like I said, the first meeting of the season, second game of the MPSL North campaign for both sides. Both teams with full 3 points their first time out. Duluth FC with the victory over Joy Athletic in their opener at 3-1, and then the 3-0 win for the Blizzard in their first time out. So it should be an interesting ball game here tonight. Talked about some of the lineups for Duluth FC, some of the changes that we've seen. Coach Tomas Pazzo has been rotating his lineup quite a bit. A lot of guys got extra time against Minneapolis City SC on Saturday. We'll see if any of those guys get into the game here tonight. But Stefan Schenk starting in goal for Duluth FC. Alex Paredes will start on the bench for Duluth FC in this ball game. In the meantime, the Blizzard, of course, playing, like I said, their second game of the campaign. Duluth FC's actually already played 3 games, although only one in MPSL North Conference competition. So this is the 4th outing for the Blue Greens. We'll see what this one brings. Duluth FC, by the way, debuting their home white jerseys for the first time this season, Coach, while the Blizzard will be in the traveling blacks. They'll be going from right to left in this opening 45 minutes. In the meantime, we're waiting for the two teams now here to make their way toward midfield. Duluth FC took both meetings with the Blizzard a year ago on their way to winning the postseason MPSL North Conference crown and, of course, eventually winning the Midwest Region crown, going on to the national semifinals. Blizzard, like I said, just in their second season in the MPSL North, and they will kick off, it appears, here in this opening half.
Matt, I'll just say it right now. One of the matchups I'm really looking forward to is we mentioned Liam Pritchard in the opening and getting him back out on the wing here in the right channel. He'll be matched up, I think, with Devin DeGrotto, the St. Thomas product from Prior Lake, Minnesota originally. A lot of speed for Devin as well, and a lot of experience in those boots. I think that's going to be a great matchup to watch all night.
Weather conditions, by the way, dry on the field here. Slight breeze blowing from left to right. Temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s for this one here in Duluth. And like I said, we're just awaiting now the go-ahead here from our center referee. And we are officially underway as the Blizzard will start in possession of the ball, going from right to left. Again, thank you for joining us. Matt Johnson, Coach Joe Mooney, our producer, by the way, for the night, John Benton, and the rest of us here from the Blue Green Stream team here on the Stadium Sports Network. Thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday evening from Duluth for Duluth FC Soccer. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. In the meantime, the Blizzard going to try to build from the back, it appears, here, as they will send a ball to the near side. Duluth FC so far this season scored 8 goals, giving up 4. Now here's a long ball played over the top. Yet to be settled now on the far side. This is Kian Magoe, who had 2 goals in their season opening victory over the Sioux Falls Thunder, has that ball taken off his foot by Duluth FC's Tyler Guerrero. It'll be a throw now for the Blizzard, far side of the field, as the toss comes in. And an attempted cross, that one blocked away. It'll be another throw here coming up. Throw comes in on the far side for the aforementioned Magoe, and then he can't handle it on the end line. It'll be a goal kick here coming up for Stefan Schenk. And looks like the restart will go short here. Outside, here's Teddy Miranda, who had a nice game against Joy Athletic. Here's the aforementioned Raul Sadeo. We will keep an eye on him, number 44 in white. Scored 13 goals and had 2 assists for his junior college, that being Lewis and Clark in Illinois. And I know that he is committed to play in the NAIA next year, There's this ball now over the top. And Evan Seifkin waiting for it at the top of his box. He'll hold on to it here before Duluth FC captain Liam Pritchard could run onto it.
Yeah, and Seifkin, I'll say from experience, he's really good coming off his line, Matt. He's obviously a big goalkeeper. He's got a lot of size to him. He can cut off angles, and some of those balls over the top are going to have to be really well angled if they're going to try to beat him.
Vergara for Duluth FC trying to win that ball down now. Willen Schrock plays his college soccer for Carleton. And now here's a ball to the outside, far side of the field. Alex Ruiz, one of the co-leading scorers for Duluth FC, 2 goals on the season. Now he comes inside, his ball across the 18. And Adrian Mejia wasn't waiting, or wasn't looking for it, I should say. And it'll be a throw here coming up for the Blizzard in their own end of the field. Here's the toss. Miranda trying to win it down. Now Adrian Mejia. Ruiz, Mark Donaldson to the outside now, Tyler Guerrero. And Guerrero trying to cross it in, and it'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens, far side of the field here. Sadeo, between 6'4" and 6'5", very tall striker for Duluth FC. Said had a goal and an assist against Minneapolis City SC on Saturday down at Edor Nelson Field in Minneapolis. In the meantime, now looks like Guerrero's going to go long with the throw here. Throw comes in. A couple players around Sadeo. Now it's cleared up the middle. Tabo Malala to the outside now for Duluth FC. It's Teddy Miranda. The Blue Greens will go back now. Here's Jacob Wiles. Now Malala will run this one down. I know you were particularly impressed with Tabo Malala and the way that he played against Joy Athletic. Not the biggest guy, about 5'8", but really very skilled with the feet and really took control of the midfield as that game went along.
Yeah, man, I think he and Mark Donaldson complement each other really well. Donaldson stays home a little bit more, plays kind of almost a true CDM position, and that allows Tabo to really play the 8, get it up and down in between the boxes. And like I said, they complement each other really well.
Throw coming up now on the Duluth FC side of midfield. It'll be taken by the Blizzard in front of the blue-green bench. And this ball through the middle. That one will be sent all the way back now. Hubert Company's ball to the far side. Guerrero intercepting for Duluth FC. Now the aforementioned Mark Donaldson will send it to the wide side of the field. Trying to turn with it now, Liam Pritchard. Nice flick there for Miranda. Teddy Miranda now carrying in back to the outside. Pritchard, edge of the 18, into the 6. Leaves a back shot. That one blocked by traffic. That one taken by Ruiz. Coming in from the weak side. First real good opportunity goes to the Blue Greens in the 6th minute. And we are still scoreless. Now here's Mejia.
Yeah, Matt, I think it was Diego Connell got a touch on that ball and probably a goal-saving block there.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been Ruiz's 3rd goal of the season. He had a really good look there coming in on the weak side, Coach.
Well, Matt, you already saw how many times they tried to target Raul. You saw Tyler target him on the throw-in. You saw the ball across from Liam Pritchard there, right on onto Raul's feet. Raul played the dummy, let it go by. Good opportunity for Duluth.
Here's Guerrero now coming in on the outside. And that one will go out of play. It'll be a throw for the Blizzard. Far side of the field here. Like I said, just underway. Plenty of sunlight, daylight still left here. Now Pritchard. Ball back now for Miranda. And the Blue Greens now will set with Tabo Malala. Malala's ball to the outside finds Ruiz. Finding Guerrero now on the overlap. Good job by Company to range back defensively and break that up. Now Donaldson will win it back, and Malala will go now for Jacob Wiles. Wiles. Now Miranda. Mejia. Now Donaldson stepping through. Mark Donaldson. Scottish import has it taken off of his foot.
Yeah, he saw that space open up in the half space, Matt, and just try to take that big touch through. Good job from the defender. I missed who it was, but good job from the defender to break that up.
free kick now coming up here for the Blizzard. Elijah Bishop getting into this one, sends it over midfield. Vergara, and we're going to have a foul called on Guerrero. Came up high on a Blizzard player, about 50 yards away from the Duluth FC goal. It'll be a free kick now for Minnesota Blizzard. Like I said, a very new club to the MPSL North. And the quick restart now to the outside. Now taken away. Here's Ruiz. Malala now stepping through. Back for Ruiz. Now Duluth FC will switch the field right side. Miranda. Mejia now. Adrian Mejia stepping through. Has it taken away by Company. No whistle. And now the Blizzard will try to build from the back. Switching the field near side now. Here's Devin DeGrotto. You mentioned played at St. Thomas University in the Twin Cities. And now this one will be tackled out here by Donaldson, checking back defensively here for Duluth FC. Throw comes in the corner now for Jaden Morgan. And that one will be poked out now by Vergara. Actually, it'll go out off of Vergara. We'll have a throw here coming up for Duluth FC. Here's the throw from Guerrero. And the turn was Mejia. Taken off of his foot. 9th minute here. Marviken in field. The playing surface here at Walt Hunting Stadium. No score thus far. Been pretty cagey start here by the two sides. A lot of patient build-up here so far. Safkin's ball now to the outside. And a foul can be called here on Guerrero. Free kick now for the Blizzard, far side of the field. It's Evan Moreno who's standing over this one now on the right foot. And that one will go out of play. Tackled away by Ruiz. Duluth FC with a counterattack opportunity. Now angling ball forward. I think Pritchard wanted to hit the ball quite that way. He was looking for Cedillo in the middle.
Yeah, man, I think one of the things that Duluth's going to have to adjust to here a little bit is they've been used to sending Liam Pritchard along on some of those balls centrally, and that's not going to be Cedillo's game. He wants to get the ball into his feet, first touch if he can. They're going to need to look for him more centrally and look to hold the play up a little bit. And again, I think if they keep sending balls in behind the back line, they're going to get eaten up by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's playing very high right now, is Seifkin. He's out of his box right at the moment.
Yeah, so I think
super keeper.
Yeah, I think just being a little bit more patient, trying to work the ball through the midfield a bit more, trying to find Cedillo early in the sequence, but find him more central with his back to goal and play off him a bit more.
Guerrero now playing it back. Vergara's ball. Took a deflection and it'll go out of play.
Yeah, I think that one got Connell in the face. Shrugged it off pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, tough way to earn a throw. Now Duluth FC trying to come back. Here's Ruiz. This is what he does very well, running at defenders. And a good tackle there by Moreno to slow up the play. It'll be a throw here now for the Blue Greens, far side of the field. From our broadcast location here in Duluth.
Yeah, Matt, you see Cedillo there just dropping back in to get more involved in the play, which I think will be good at times to get him involved in the sequence. But if he drops back in too far, you're not going to have that center forward that's available if they do break through that line.
Tyler Guerrero plays his college soccer at Oklahoma Wesleyan. One of several Oklahoma Wesleyan products here on this Duluth FC team here in 2025. This ball now tackled out far side of the field. And we'll have a throw here coming up now for the Blue Greens. Are they going to give a free kick? Looks like free kick. Guerrero will take it quickly. Now Donaldson. Pushing the field now Miranda. Malala.
Matt, as much as I'd like to see Duluth take the free kick quickly like that and just kind of carry on with the play, you're 30 yards in. You've got a couple big bodies in there with Cedillo, with guys like Jacob Wiles, coming up on a free kick. Maybe throw one in there. I'd like to see one, just a big ball, just try to test the back line quickly or early on in the game here.
Well, yeah, just to kind of test out and see what the Blizzard do defensively, how they adjust to it.
Yeah, and again, I don't have any problem with the team putting the ball down and trying to play quickly on the free kick, but I wonder if they get another one kind of 30 yards and in, maybe they try to set something up and again get some of their big bodies up, but just kind of test them in the box.
Cedillo now play it back. Donaldson, now Vergara.
Matt, you and I were talking about Mark Donaldson before the game started and just how much fun he's been to watch so far this season. We were talking about the St. Croix game, and man, he came in at the fullback spot, which I guess is where he actually plays his college ball, but he's been so good in the number 6 role as a CDM. I was surprised to see him going as a fullback until I learned that that's where he actually plays. And it was just, everything seemed to just kind of smooth out for Duluth once he got into that role.
Miranda now keeping it in on the end line, and actually they're going to say no, he ran out of real estate. Right side, it'll be a goal kicker coming up for Seifkin.
Yeah, from up here, Matt, I thought it was pretty obviously past the line. It is tough to tell, though. There's those double lines on the end. You've got sort of a white football line overlapping with a yellow soccer line, and it's tough to tell which line is which and whether or not the ball fully goes over. But
DeGrotto now for the Blizzard will go all the way back to the top of his 18. Here's Seifkin. He'll go to the far side with it. Blizzard have been pretty methodical so far in the build-up play. This FC has been a little bit more direct here so far. We're only a quarter of an hour in, but sort of what we've seen here so far, 15 minutes into this one, or nearly 15 minutes in. Ball to the outside now, brought down by Pritchard. Here's Miranda, and now he'll run out of room. Like I said, pretty cagey start here, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, one of the things that Duluth's going to have to kind of figure out, see what happens here.
Vergara running over now from his left center defender spot. Plays it back now, and Stefan Schenk. We go to the far side with it.
That's a peculiar spot to put that ball, Matt.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I think he was expecting Guerrero maybe to be out there, but
yeah, I think you just let that ball go. Just, put it 60 yards forward and clear your lines and get your defensive shape set again, rather than giving the ball away in your own, last 30 yards, I guess.
A foul call here on Malala. It'll be a free kick now for the Blizzard.
See what Blizzard decided to do here. See, this is what I was kind of talking about, Matt, earlier on for Duluth, maybe to set the ball down and just kind of try to whip a ball in and see what happens when you put one in behind the defensive line.
Tried to target Morgan there with that one. Skimmed his head a little bit. Now DeGrotto will reset for company.
Yeah, I don't love that service, Matt. I think if you're 30 yards and in like that, you need to beat the back line. You need to turn them back over and let your forwards run onto it.
Corner kick number 1 now will go to the Blizzard, by the way. From the corner, it appears that it will be Willen Schrock that'll take it here. Schrock bending ball through the middle. Cleared away, far side of the field. Now company on the edge of the 18. Low, hard-driven cross. Wiles will head it wide. Guerrero. And they're going to say he didn't quite keep it in. We'll have another corner kick, this time on the far side. Looks like it'll be Devin DeGrotto that'll go over and take it here.
Yeah, it just seemed the initial shot or cross kind of seemed to wrong foot Wiles. A little bit trouble of clearing it, but in the end, I guess dealt with it.
Grau with the in-swinger with the left foot. Ruiz with a good header up the middle. Company gets a shot away, and that one was wide.
Matt, one of the things that Duluth's got to figure out is with Pritchard returning back to the channel role here, they like to press in a 4-4-2, and so that means that Mejia is going to have to come forward and play almost like that secondary forward role in the press. So you lose a little bit of that speed, that closing speed that Pritchard brings to it.
Wiles now sends it across the field. This is Vergara now for the Blue Greens. Ruiz. Vergara now. Chipping ball over for Guerrero. Tyler Guerrero now has 2 players around him, and we'll draw a throw here. Let's see how quickly he wants to go here. Looks like he's going to take his time, wait for his teammates to get forward. Now he'll toss it in for Donaldson. Miranda. Malala. And we're going to have a foul call now. It looks like DeGrotto got in the back of the Blue Greens number 10, Tabo Malala. The 2 number 10s coming together there, and it'll be a free kick now for the Blue Greens. And we'll see about 30 yards away from goal if they do decide to just play that ball in. Like I said, they got some size in there. Cedillo in there. Also, Jacob Wiles is about 6'2". Liam Pritchard about 6'1" or 6'2". So there's some height in there for the Blue Greens.
Yeah, man, and I like the way that they've set this up. They're going to have Alex Ruiz on his left foot playing in-swinging ball and see if he can't beat that first defender and get into space behind the back line.
Ruiz going back post. There's Pritchard laying it down. Here's a shot attempt by Vergara, and that one just rolled a little bit high with the left foot.
And, Matt, that's exactly why you try to turn the back line over, right? So you get them facing their own goal. It's a lot harder to defend that way. You see Pritchard just getting into space in behind them. A good settling pass, and those are the kinds of opportunities you want to get off a set piece.
Goal kick here coming up for Seifkin. Ruiz heading it forward. Now Mejia. And Cedillo with him. Cedillo now stepping inside. Cedillo with a shot attempt. That one saved by Seifkin. Having an excuse me save, but didn't have to keep it out of the net.
Yeah, Seifkin using that big frame of his. Like I said, Matt, we've had to play against him at the college level. St. John's product. Really terrific player for them for the last few years. And I've seen him stop a couple of point-blank shots just using his frame. Very good at filling the net.
Here's Ruiz now. Pass a little bit off the mark. Now Ruiz will come back for it. Now that one will just be cleared away here. Nice to see Raul Cedillo, though, getting forward on that one, Coach. He had a chance to get his second blue-green goal.
Well, and I don't think Seifkin got all of it on the goal kick. I mean, he didn't clear the midfield line. When Ruiz picked that off, he was, I think, 5-8 yards into the Blizzard half, and so that might be something for Duluth to look at and maybe get their lines up a little bit on the goal kicks if he's not going to be able to put them past midfield.
Throw coming up now for the Blue Greens near side. Approaching the midway mark of this first 45 minutes here from Walt Hunting Stadium on this Tuesday evening. And thank you for joining us. There's the ball now.
Yeah, handball there. I think Connell just got caught.
Diego Connell that time as the ball jumped up on him, and it'll be a free kick now for the Blue Greens. Dangerous opportunity here, about 25, 30 yards away from goal again. Ruiz with that left foot.
Yeah, they've got Ruiz line up on it again, so now this would be more of an outswinging ball unless Pritchard comes onto it. You can see the captain now just maybe giving a couple instructions here.
And Guerrero's going to come forward too. He's about 6'2" as well, so it's a good height for Duluth FC in this front line. We'll see what they decide to do here, though. Again,
is he 6'2", Matt? I believe you if you say yes.
He's close to that. I've stood next to Guerrero.
He's
He's between 6'1" and 6'2", I'd say.
Yeah, well, Tyler, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Vergara standing over this as well, as is Ruiz and Pritchard. Like you said, an outswinger if Ruiz takes it on the left foot. Vergara also standing over it. It's going to be Vergara that takes it into the wall.
Yeah, he was going for goal there, Matt. I don't mind the thought.
And now a foul going to be called here on Miranda. A little shove there.
Yeah, Jacob Wiles just playing the dark arts there and just a little bit of gamesmanship to slow the play down smartly on his part. He knew his back line was still up from the free kick, and so just picked the ball up and get a little talking to from the center official. And that's, again, that's all part of the game.
More than midway through this opening half. Now still no score.
Obviously, Matt, we don't teach any of that gamesmanship at UW Superior.
I was going to say, where do you think he learned that? I wonder. And now another foul going to be called as Ruiz went down. Got clipped from behind on that one. Jacob Wiles, of course, a UW Superior product, his head coach during his college season. Sitting to my left, commentating on the game here tonight. And speaking of Jacob Wiles, there he is now off the free kick.
Matt, he's a terrific young player. I think he's got a really bright collegiate future ahead of him. He's been good for us. The trouble is for Jacob.
He's been pretty crowded though, as far as
yeah,
he goes.
He was behind. I mean, there were 4 center backs that were all in their senior year or their 5th year for us, and so just sort of a victim of that. But man, I tell you, he's going to be a good
nice
player.
Ball over the top. Here's Cedillo with the shot attempt, and they say, yeah, they're going to whistle him offside. That was tight.
Yeah, I'd like to see the replay, Matt. I guess when my head turned, he did look offside, but I didn't see it right when the ball was played. It would have been, I think, pretty tight. Like I said, I'd love to go back and see the replay on that one.
Safkin will take the resulting free kick here. And he'll send it to the far side over the top of everybody where Jeremy Euchre, our 4th official, will make the catch. Nice catch by Mr. Euchre over there. Maybe I'll have to give him a compliment about that after the game if I see him.
The officials' all-hands team, Jeremy Euchre, well done.
Correct, yes. There's Stefan Schenk, who hasn't had a lot to do so far for the Blue Greens. So this first 25 or so minutes. Here's Malala now. Miranda. Now being dispossessed, now taking it right back from McGoey. Now it's Ruiz. Has Guerrero to the outside. Sends a ball toward him. Now the Blizzard will send a ball forward, and Schenk will wait for it in his own 18 here.
Good step there from Connell. Ruiz has got to be a bit careful if he's going to try to turn with numbers forward like that. He's got to pull a move off, or he's probably got a foul.
Here's a ball from Vergara now, left wing. Liam Pritchard for the Blue Greens, the team captain, stepping over. Now edge of the 18. He'll cross it in. Cleared up the middle. Nobody there in a white jersey. And Company will take the opportunity for the Blizzard to clear.
Yeah, I think Pritchard just kind of noticing a little bit of the speed mismatch there.
Company now checking back. They'll send it to the far side again here. Now it's Devin DeGrotto. His ball off of Miranda. We'll have a throw coming up near side here. Miranda off the intercept. Now Malala. And now we'll have a foul called there against the Blizzard. So another free kick here for Duluth FC.
Matt, just going back to my phone,
Yeah,
using
just
that
a little bit off
21st
there.
century technology here, I would say Cedillo was off on that call.
Now ball near side, and DeGrotto taking no chances with Adrian Mejia coming on the right wing. Just clears it out. And looks like it'll be a corner kick here for the Blue Greens.
Wonder if they'll go short here, Matt.
Looks like actually Ruiz is going to call off Mejia, and he'll take it himself here. Ruiz with that left foot.
Yeah, I think DeGrotto noticed the opportunity to go short and was smart to stay out wide.
Ruiz into this. Players bunching near the end line. Ball to the back post. Flicked away now. And now overrunning it was Malala, and now a potential break here for the Blizzard. Connell playing it wide. And Donaldson able to make a nice play it off the forward, breaking up now for the Blizzard, and it'll be a throw for the Blue Greens.
Really well done from Mark Donaldson there. Dealt with all that very well.
He's very heady and very steady back there is one of the things I've noticed about him 3 games into the season.
Yeah, did a good job just to delay the play, Matt. And then obviously you saw a couple of players, Liam Pritchard kind of leading the charge to get back as well, using his speed. That they could have been more disastrous for Duluth FC than it ended up being. And credit to Donaldson, he actually not only won the ball, but actually won the ensuing throw-in as well.
Guerrero off the throw. Pritchard trying to head it down. Company flicking it very high in the air. Now Cedillo trying to come back for it.
I like this, Matt. There's been just, I think, more fluidity from Duluth FC. You see Liam Pritchard actually playing almost like a number 10 role now. And Adrian Mejia just floating out wide. And I think it's good that they're allowing the front four to sort of be dynamic and interchange a bit throughout the play.
Schrock now will leave it. Company's ball to the outside. Ken McGoey now. Flicking it over the top. Carter Hermanson on the back door, and a nice sliding tackle there by Wiles. It'll be a throw here now for the Blizzard. Nearly a half hour elapsed here from Walt Hunting Stadium. No score as of yet. Haven't really been down that many scoring opportunities for that matter. Duluth FC had a really good one in the opening minutes. Company's ball now to the outside. Taking a heavy touch over the foot of Jaden Morgan, and it'll be a goal kick now for Stefan Shank, who, like I said, Coach, hasn't had a whole lot to do back there so far. Nearly a half hour in, but Duluth FC won't complain about that.
No, the back line for Duluth has done a good job of really not letting a lot of balls or any kind of trouble get in behind them.
Malala's ball now. Intercepted. Now Wiles will clear. Nagato trying to head it down. Now clearing ball from Malala gets picked off. Company's ball up the middle. Hermanson for the Blizzard. Now back up the middle. Now Company trying to get a shot away. That one took a deflection, and I think it's going to be a corner kick. Now it is.
Yeah, Duluth not doing a very good job of dealing with the press there. Blizzard just keeping a higher line, and twice you saw Tavo just play into pressure. Need to find some better answers if they're going to play out of the press.
Corner kick coming up far side. It'll be Devin Negrado that'll take it here. Driven ball through the middle. Headed down by Morgan, but well wide of the goal. Didn't have a lot on it. Not sure he measured the header the way he wanted to.
Yeah, one of the advantages of having a guy like Cedillo back there is just to kind of eat up some of those big balls, or if nothing else, just be a big body in the way of the ball, so it's harder for the forward to see it when he's trying to get his head on it.
Marino, meanwhile, taking out Cedillo right near midfield. It'll be a free kick here for the Blue Greens. Off the restart, Guerrero now on the outside. Overlapping run coming from Ruiz. Now Donaldson. Malala in the middle. Mejia. Donaldson taking it wide. Now it's Miranda. Deflection. Flicked on now by Cedillo. Mejia trying to turn and taken off of his foot. Nice defensive play there by the Blizzard. They're doing a nice job as well.
But Matt, you see some of the danger that Cedillo can can produce when you play into him, even with his back to goal.
Ball wide now, and Guerrero.
He finds ways for overlapping attackers to get involved and be dangerous.
Jacob Wiles now. I can ball over the top. I'm not sure where he was trying to go with that ball. Ruiz was looking for it short, it looked like. He was trying to check back for it.
Yeah,
Wiles
you saw Pritchard check across the line. I think he thought Ruiz was going to maybe overlap and run in the space that Pritchard had left. Just a miscommunication there.
No harm done. It'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens, taken by Guerrero right near midfield. Malala winning the race of that ball. Will tap it to the outside for where Miranda picks it up.
Just a bit too casual again from Alex Ruiz there.
And now the ball near side will be played out. It'll be a throw here coming up. Elijah Bishop conceding the throw here for the Blizzard. It'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens. Looks like Miranda will take it himself here. Donaldson back for Miranda. Played right back up the middle. Here's Malala. Cedillo trying to bring it down. Now clear again up the middle. Headed down by Vergara. Miranda bending ball in. And Seifkin will come off of his line and smother that off the turf here. And we'll hold on to it. Take a few seconds off the clock. Wait for his teammates to get in position before he plays this one.
Matt, I don't mind the ball there from Miranda. I'd like to see him get that ball maybe a yard or two further down the line as he's trying to serve it. Just getting that little bit of extra space in behind the defender so that he can actually get the angle to play in behind the back line without putting it into Seifkin's trajectory.
There's Donaldson trying to come forward, and that one now tackled out.
He just has to be able to take a heavier touch and have the speed to get around the fullback. And if he can do that, he's got a much better angle to try to slot that ball.
Guerrero's throw. Now Magoe, who's had a quiet first half here. Laying it back, here's Bishop. Magoe now trying to turn. Nice spin move there by Kian Magoe. Now DeGrotto. There's a deflection off the clearing attempt there by Wiles. Now headed wide by Guerrero. Cedillo, that 6'5" frame coming back defensively, and now here's a chance to break for the Blue Greens. Pritchard has Mejia with him. Comes central, Mejia goes wide. Finds Mejia on the edge of the 18. Waiting for help. Now taking it wide. Still holding on to it. And Company takes him down, and we'll have a free kick. I'm surprised he didn't give that ball to Ruiz, who was open there.
Yeah, Matt, if you go back to the initial play when Pritchard gets on the ball, I would like to see Mejia actually carry his run outside initially. But he brought it inside. He kind of ate up the space that Pritchard wanted to drive into, and it kind of just delayed the play a little bit and allowed Blizzard to get a few more numbers back. And I think if he takes that initial run outside, if Mejia takes that initial run outside, I think it just gives Pritchard the space to drive into, collect the defender, and then play him out wide.
Another free kick for the Blue Greens. They've had a few of these in these last about 10 minutes or so in deep. We'll see what they can make out of this one. Pritchard standing on the right foot, Ruiz on the left foot. It'll be Pritchard that'll go for goal, and it'll just skip in.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too far. It's always going to be an ambitious take from there, Matt. I think that's one you probably try to play in rather than have it at goal. That said, if he hits the frame from there, it's an absolute stunner. Like
that is true. It goes down as one of those highlight reel goals for the season.
Yeah, for sure.
As Wiles now will head this one out. It'll be a throw now for the Blizzard.
And you have to like that your forward has that kind of confidence too, right, Matt?
Well, Liam Pritchard in his third year now with the Blue Greens, and Team captain, has a goal and 3 assists already this year.
Yeah, we absolutely give him the grace to take
Give
that
him
one
the,
on.
yeah, give him the green light on that one.
Absolutely.
Here's Company now, speaking of which, trying to send a ball in the 18, cleared back up the middle. DeGrotto against Malala. Nice job by Malala to break that up. Now DeGrotto. Ranging back, and now he'll go all the way back for Seifkin. On the far side, Vergara. Company taking a touch away from Cedillo, and now he'll set it up here for the Blizzard. Like I said, it's been a cagey first half here between the two teams. And now we're going to have another foul called here. It looks like free kick now for the Blizzard.
Matt, I think Vergara has become one of my favorite players to watch here so far in this young season.
Yeah, very heady. He's played probably as many, if not more, minutes than just about anybody on the roster so far here, 4 games in. And like I said, just very solid across the board. Now ball to the outside. And now the flag goes up near side. Liam Pritchard a half step off, it looks like. Have to restart now. The Blizzard again in the back. Some of those final balls in near the 18 have been a little bit off for the Blue Greens so far here tonight. As now Moreno will send it near side. DeGrotto for Company. Now it's Hermanson in the middle. Weil stepping through. He'll tackle it away. This ball going wide. Here's Kian Degoe trying to turn, and that one will go out of play. Another throw here coming up. 40th minute now. Been pretty subdued game here so far, Coach.
Man, one of the things I like to see from Jacob Wiles is I think of him as more of that ball-playing center back, and I think what he's learned already this summer and just been even better with has been just his ball winning. He's been a little bit more of that gritty, kind of just kind of do whatever it takes to get the job done kind of center back, and I think that's been a really good addition to his game. And not that he's, obviously he's got a big frame and he's been good in the air, in his past as well, but I think there's just an extra little bit of edginess to him right now, and it's good to see in his game.
Donaldson now sending it forward. Cedillo playing a ball in the middle. Comes forward now by Company. Miranda. Now for Donaldson. And now Wiles. Looks like the Blue Greens will try to switch the field now. Schenk. Donaldson. High press now here from the Blizzard. Vergara. Malala checking back to the ball. Ruiz, heavy touch. Nearly a turnover, but right back to Ruiz. Now for Miranda. And they're going to call Cedillo on another offside. That's 3 offside calls against the Blue Greens here in this opening half.
Yeah, man, I want to go back to the sequence as they started to work the ball up the field, and just, a point for Tabo that he's got to get to is, he's had a couple giveaways in the midfield, and there was almost another one, and Ruiz was able to kind of get his last, little toe poke on it. But he's just got to get angles to his passes. A lot of them are either going square or like that one was just kind of vertical up and down the field. I think if he plays more of an angle on his pass, he's putting the ball recipient in a much better position to carry that sequence on.
Here's Guerrero now for Duluth FC. Blue Greens have had the lion's share of possession here so far, Coach, but nothing in the back of the net as of yet. 42nd minute here from Walt Hunting Stadium as the lights are now on here in Duluth. Sky's going to cloud it up just a bit here. This ball coming in now. Here's Cedillo, leaving it for Malala. Lost his footing. Good no call there. Now Mejia. Ruiz, Malala. Outside now Pritchard. Well done there.
Really well done from Tabo there.
Pritchard, Guerrero, back post. Miranda, back. Here's the shot, and that one deflects. That one was taken by Mejia. Blocked by traffic out in front, but promising build up there from the Blue Greens. Well, Donaldson to the far side, Pritchard, and unable to make the run there was Guerrero. He was going the opposite direction.
Matt, just as I was, kind of criticizing Tabo a little bit there, he makes the pass, a great kind of half volley out into the angle or the diagonal to really open that play up. Well done from him, and a lot better from Duluth.
Malala now for the Blue Greens. Switching the field now for Miranda. Now Mejia, Malala. Pritchard now turning. Looks like he took a bit of a knock there.
Well done from Pritchard there not to foul.
To the outside now, it's Connell.
You saw the angle he took, Matt. He wanted to go through the attacker to get to the ball, and he pulled himself up at the last second, and really well done because it slowed the play up, and eventually Duluth wins the ball. And you see way too often when players backtrack like that, they get a bit too aggressive and they end up fouling, and it lets the attacking team off the hook.
The throw coming in now on the left side. Here's Morgan. Jaden Morgan. And the game-winning goal for the Blizzard against the Sioux Falls Thunder last time out. Now to Grotto. And it'll be another corner kick here coming up. That's the one thing that the Blizzard have had a lot of so far is corner kicks. Duluth FC's only had one.
And again, it's Vergara coming up with the last-ditch effort there to block that shot.
Corner kick near side flag. Bending ball coming through. Cedillo using that tall frame to head it away. Now to Grotto. Donaldson taking over. Now sending it forward.
He's onside there, Matt. He was at midfield.
Here's Pritchard now getting a step. Trying to cross it in. Headed wide. Miranda will run it down.
Matt Bishop got just a little bit of a header on that one to throw it off course.
Miranda now. And that'll be easy pickings there for Seifkin as he'll grab it in his 6 as we're approaching the midway point here.
Final ball needs to be better there. You've got Blizzard under pressure. You've got numbers forward. No reason to just kind of give the ball away by floating one into a 6'5" goalkeeper.
See how much added time there is. I wouldn't expect a whole lot. It's been a very clean half so far in terms of the foul situation. No cards have been handed out as of yet. Donaldson as we're now officially in extra time. Vergara now on the far side here for Duluth FC. Ruiz. Now Wiles and just off with the pass there.
Yeah, a couple miscues here tonight, Matt, and you forget that this is only the second MPSL game of the season. And obviously Duluth is in game number 4 for their summer, but a lot of rotation in the teams. Coach Pazzo, I don't think he's seen the same 11 come out yet in any sequential games, and so just a lot of rotation and a lot of trying to figure out the chemistry.
And that is how the first half will end. Very cagey. Not a lot going on offensively either way. Some opportunities perhaps for the Blue Greens at times, but we played 45 minutes, nothing in the back of the net, and some adjustments need to be made, I think, by both sides in this one, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, if you think about it again, I think the bright spots for Duluth have been, Vergara has been terrific, Donaldson has again been terrific, but those are the names that kind of keep coming up. And, if you're going to put a team on their back foot, it can't be the guys that are in the back of the field, in your center back position or in your holding center mid position that you keep mentioning. You've got to see more production out of your front 6, and there just hasn't been much to speak of there yet.
So that's your story, 45 minutes in. No score between the Blue Greens and Minnesota Blizzard, and with that being the case, we'll take a extended audio break and then come back with the second half of this NPSL North Conference contest between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and Minnesota Blizzard FC. That's coming up in about 15-20 minutes. This is Duluth FC Soccer, brought to you by the Blue Green Stream Team on the Stadium Sports Network.
Video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
Build something that lasts and take pride in every step. Cirrus is hiring assemblers to help build the world's best-selling personal aircraft. We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and right now a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
Donaldson now near side. Guerrero. Vergara now for Jacob Wiles, far side of the field. Apologize, folks. I think we had a couple technical difficulties there, but we're back as of now anyway. We'll see if that continues. Hopefully it will. We've had a few technical blips tonight. In the meantime, it'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens right in front of their own bench.
Good news is, Matt, I don't think we've missed any kind of excitement.
No, nothing really happened. Very similar to what we saw in the first 45 minutes thus far. Now Guerrero. He takes a spill, we play on. Ruiz now for the Blue Greens. Miranda flicking it on now Mejia. And the touch just off there.
And you're seeing Ruiz have to go all the way back in the back line to get on the ball. And when that happens, I think Miranda's got to get a little bit further forward and just, they're going to have to start taking some risk in the outside.
Ball coming to the near side now. Kyra Hermanson now for the Blizzard. Trying a step over move. Now comes up the middle. Donaldson, Wiles now will try to clear it. Company. Now to Grotto for the Blizzard. Devin Grotto's ball to the outside, and that one will hop out for a Duluth FC throw. Taken quickly now by Miranda. And that one will go out of play.
Matt, you're starting to see some of the frustration show out there.
It makes me wonder how much longer Coach Tomas Pazzo is going to go on with this group. Because right now, there's not any earnest warming up going on over there. Now Company here for the Blizzard. Near side, long ball now from Moreno. Taken now by Miranda. Now he'll cough it up. Now a shot by DeGrotto. That one deflects out the back of Mejia. Now Wiles.
Matt, they need to get their lines up a little bit here.
Wiles to the outside now. Here's Miranda.
Too much of their midfielders trying to get on the ball, so they're checking back, and you see just a massive gap between the forward line and the midfielders.
Vergara now. Malala. Guerrero. Now Ruiz. Angle the ball to the far side now. Mejia. Adrian Mejia now. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, Coach.
Yeah, they've got to get more numbers involved, Matt, and the play out of the back was better in that sequence, but they can't get to a point where every time the ball gets in the final third, they're just releasing it. Too many easy balls for the goalkeeper to collect. They're making the back line's job entirely too easy.
Now Ruiz. Donaldson. Guerrero. Outside now, it's Pritchard. And that one will be tackled out. It'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens.
Glad to see Duluth actually win a ball in the press, though, there, Matt. Sometimes when you're not getting much in action offensively, you can generate some of that just with a good press or a counter press.
Now Miranda. Wiles now to the outside. Here's Ruiz coming forward. Ruiz. Cedillo now leaving it back. Malala. Now Guerrero. He has some space to exploit. Comes forward. Tried to play it in on the turf here. Broken up. Now popped up in the air. Now the Blizzard trying to counter back. Ball to the far side looking for Magoe. And that one will go out of play. It'll be another throw here coming up.
Matt's a much better sequence from Duluth. A lot more patience there. Starting to test Blizzard in the half space a little bit, finding seams, just being, I think, just a little bit more pragmatic with their approach, but willing to actually test, and like I said, in the half spaces. It's a good spell from Duluth. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Here's Vergara now. Sending the ball over the top. And that's too easy for Seifkin as he comes off of his line. He hasn't had to do a whole lot either in this game. There really hasn't been much flow in terms of offensive touches either way.
Man, I actually don't hate that, though. I think, you just saw a long spell of possession. Why not trust him over the top? And again, Duluth right back into a sequence now, so I think it's good to keep the back line honest a little bit and test him over the top. Now you see Duluth trying to get back into more of a possession-style game.
Miranda's ball forward now. Cedillo flicking in the middle for nobody. And it'll be taken by Elijah Bishop here now for the Blizzard. Now it's Company on the right foot. Carter Hermanson for Diego Connell. Now Guerrero. Vergara. Bishop flicking that ball forward, and we're going to have a foul call now on Cedillo as he was a little late to the action there.
Yeah, it looked a bit incidental, Matt. I mean, I think Cedillo had already landed by the time the center back had come through him, but I'd like to see Cedillo just anticipate that ball as well a little bit more.
Free kick now sails over the end line. It'll be a goal kick here coming up for the Blue Greens.
Starting to get some more action over on the Duluth bench. Be willing to bet we'll see some subs here in the next couple minutes.
High press now here from the Blizzard. Malala.
But again, Matt, I don't mind them going big there into the center of the field, but they have to start to suck up in the middle of the field. So that ball going big into Ruiz, but nobody's in underneath him. And now you're just sending one player against forward, and you're just never going to find yourself in a numbers advantage that way.
Nice ball there from Malala. Now Donaldson. Guerrero. Now Malala. Playing an angling ball now, edge of the 18. Here's Pritchard. Liam Pritchard now for Duluth FC. Turns and gets a shot away, and it's right on target, and Seifkin will make the save.
Yeah, really good movement from Tabo there just to get into that pocket in the half space. Good turn. Angled ball into Liam. Again, it's better from Duluth there.
Seifkin sending it forward. Vergara on the half volley. Now a turnover here by Bishop. Heavy touch, and now it'll be cleared away. Another throw here for the Blue Greens as we're into the 61st minute. Ruiz trying to turn. Malala, Ruiz, Miranda. Sending a ball in now. Overshot Cedillo. Backside now. Pritchard will run it down here for the Blue Greens. Now it's Malala. Turning. Cedillo now. Turns, gets a shot away, and that one is grabbed right at Seifkin. So a couple of shots on target here from the Blue Greens in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, I love that turn from Tabo there. Just, I think everybody in the stadium thought that he was going to go wide out to the channel there and just turn on a half dime and played into Cedillo there. And man, you can see, again, where he becomes a prolific striker when he gets the ball back to goal there and just turns and fires.
Seifkin now will roll it short here for Evan Marino. His ball forward, now Vergara will win it. Now Malala.
Man, with as many balls as Vergara wins in the back line, you would think he'd be listed at like 6'3".
And now that ball hit the referee. So we'll have a ball to the Blue Greens here, I believe. They were the ones in possession of the ball.
Got away with a square ball in the midfield, Matt. You'll hear me harp on that every time I see it, but referee kind of let him off the hook there.
Yeah. I tried to flip it to the outside. There might have been a lane there, but in the meantime now, the Blizzard from their own back line. Oh, here's a turnover now with Ruiz. But again, nothing comes of it. The touches just have not been all that crisp tonight from the Blue Greens.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit more established in their press, Matt, and as you start to win more balls in your press, you're going to get more opportunities on it. You're going to start to, I think, iron some of those wrinkles out.
Both teams going to make substitutions here. Malala looks like his night is over, so he's one of the substitutions. Also checking out here for the Blizzard is going to be Jaden Morgan. Tobias Gerber, one of the substitutions here for the Blue Greens, is in for the first time. Ball now to the outside. And Joao Magalis is in there as well for the Blue Greens for the first time. Now Ruiz in the 18. Up the middle now, here's Donaldson. He'll take a shot, and he just misses the far post. Seifkin was frozen on that one. He was just basically hoping that ball would go wide as he turned and looked.
Yeah, good strike there from Mark Donaldson.
Goal kick now from Seifkin. Now here's Ruiz. A little over anxious on that ball. Trying to hit Cedillo quickly there, but again broken up. Now ball through the middle. That one intercepted now. Gerber will send it to the wide side, looking for Miranda. So it comes in now, Gerber. Now Now Donaldson. Miranda trying to bring it down. And a free kick now coming up. Now Kia McGowie on the outside. McGowie now coming on the right foot. Crosses one in, and it came across the face of goal. It's the first time a ball's coming into the 6. Schenk really hasn't, like I said, I don't think he's had to make a save tonight officially.
Yeah, great little flick on there from Carter Hermanson just to turn that ball into space. I think Carter's a senior, or will be a senior with St. John's, former Mr. Soccer, Minnesota.
Joao Magales now for Duluth FC. Jacob Wiles. Now Miranda. Vergara now. For Guerrero. Doing the run on now. Magales trying to run it down. Nice job by Company to shield him away from the ball. And we're going to have a foul called on the Brazilian Magales.
Yeah, Matt, it's a bit soft in the call, but it's also, one of those where just you've got, if you're Joao there, you have to keep your hands to yourself. There's no need to foul there. You've got him turned back to goal. I think it's one thing to be tenacious defensively in your press, but it's another thing to be overzealous. And I think when you cross that line, it's, you're not doing any harm by giving up a foul, 70 yards away from your own goal, but you're not doing any good either.
Miranda now sending Magales on the far side. Turns and takes a spill inside the 18.
Oh, and a red card.
And he's given a red card on top of that. Wow.
Well, Matt, this will be interesting, though. I thought Joao was in the box, which would be a penalty
that's
kick.
what I thought, too.
But if he's given the red card, I think he's going to give the free kick outside the box. There's a rule in place where
the red card will go to Marino, by the way.
Yeah, essentially they call it sort of a double jeopardy rule now where you won't give up a penalty kick and a red card at the same time unless it's a violent or a malicious attack.
I thought that was inside the box, Coach. I thought that should have been a penalty kick.
What a great turn from Joao, by the way.
Yeah, he turned on that one, and Marino came over. Let's take a look. Coach is looking at it now from...
Yeah, Matt, there's no question he's in the box. This should be a penalty kick, and then again, I would think it's a yellow card. And the AR, you would hope, is probably going to help out here. Jeremy Euchre, the 4th official, probably having a word as well.
It should be a penalty kick. That was, like I said, I thought that was pretty clearly inside the 18.
Yeah, and you see all the Duluth players they're lined up kind of over by the penalty mark. Yeah, I think he's going to give it. He's still waving off the red card.
Yep, and he's going to give him the yellow, it looks like.
Yellow card, but this should be a penalty kick then.
Yep, and he'll get the yellow on that. So rescind the actual initial red card for Marino. It'll be a penalty kick here. And
Matt, I'll say it, really, really well done by the referee crew there. And you saw the initial. It's right on the edge of the box.
Yep.
Right? I understood what he saw, but I think good job from the AR on the far side to help him out with the lines, to say it was in the box, and again, to get all the mechanics right of you rescind the red card, now it's a yellow card.
And we'll see who takes the penalty kick here. The Blizzard can complain, but it was pretty clearly inside the box.
Yeah, and it's kind of a matter, Matt. What would you rather have? If you're Blizzard, would you rather play the last 22 minutes plus stoppage time down a man, but a 0-0 game? Or would you rather give up the penalty here but have a full 11v11?
Now it's going to be Magales who will take it himself. He's the one who drew the penalty kick here opportunity. The yellow card again given to Evan Marino. And Magales, the Brazilian, will step up here from the spot. And his shot gets stopped.
Matt, I have a rule about the
Yep.
the player who gets fouled.
You don't have to say it again. Yep. That was.
And that's exactly why, Matt. I just think you've got a little bit of doubt, and again, you're You're the last player on the ball, which means that your heart rate is the most elevated. And I just think,
well, he didn't get good contact on that one from the start. I mean, it was very softly taken.
And unless you have a designated penalty taker, which I doubt they do at this point in the year, I think you probably have somebody else step up and take it.
Yeah, he hit that ball very tentatively, Coach, and that was.
Yeah, and Matty telegraphed it the whole way. I mean, I think everybody in the stadium knew kind of he was going down to his right.
Now yellow card here for Raul Cedillo of Duluth FC. Kind of sums up the night, really. It's been very tentative from the Blue Greens, and just to be honest with you, Coach, just not good enough.
Yeah, and Duluth, I think, needs to battle against any kind of a negative mindset here. I mean, obviously, it's easy to get frustrated. You thought maybe you had the breakthrough in the game. Good save from Seifkin is to keep the game level, but they need to avoid, Duluth does, they need to avoid getting into the trap of being frustrated. There's still 20 minutes plus stoppage time to play.
And now a foul going to be called on Magalhaes, and now he's going to have to settle himself down too here. He's had a couple of hard fouls in there, and now he's going to get a yellow.
Yeah, and again, Duluth just needs to be careful here, Matt. You're kind of in danger of letting Blizzard just kind of climb into the game and get a little bit of confidence here.
And the free kick now bent into the blue-green 18. Guerrero will head it down. Comes back outside, now sent back into the 18. Now cleared up the middle. All the far side from Diego Connell. Broken up now by the Blue Greens, far side of the field, and that one will now be touched out. And
well done from the back line for Duluth just to kind of weather that storm and keep things level here. Keep the ball in front of them.
And Magalhaes with another foul.
Yeah, Matt, he needs to be smart. He's a bit too amped up right now, and he's playing with a little bit too much emotion. And again, he's already on a yellow card, and that's another foul. I mean, that's like 3 fouls in the span of less than 5 minutes. He needs to be smart here.
Looks like Peter Pearson is going to check in here for the Blue Greens at the next opportunity. In the meantime, it'll be a free kick here for the Blizzard into the 18, up the middle. Now here's the shot attempt by Company, and that one will rise high and over the bar. And that'll allow now for the substitution. See who Pearson comes in for.
I like the idea of getting Peter Pearson on the field, Matt. Veteran player, a lot of experience in a lot of high levels of soccer. Get a player like that on the field just to try to help get your team settled back in and attacking this game.
Now Cedillo for Guerrero. '73rd minute, still scoreless. Ruiz hanging over the top, and now Cedillo, somebody got an elbow up, looks like might have caught him in the chops. And now we're going to have another foul called. And the game's getting a little bit lackadaisical here, I would say, right now, Coach, I think.
Yeah, and the official now getting a little bit amped up himself. Like, he, I think, just needs to calm the game back down a little bit. I don't think every foul needs to be a card.
And now Donaldson's going to check out. Pearson will come on now for Donaldson in the 74th minute.
Matt, I like the idea of getting Pearson on the field. I don't know that I love Mark Donaldson coming off. I think he's been maybe one of the best players for Duluth tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thinking is there, the strategy anyway.
You know, it might be one of those things, too, where you're just, you know, early in the season trying to manage minutes a little bit, trying to manage loads for players. it becomes a long summer, and obviously, you know, for the coaching staff, what the last thing they want to see is guys get, you know, too far into the red zone and pick up injuries before their collegiate season.
And now here's a turnover, or near turnover, as Wiles is passed to the outside. Tackled away by Schrock.
Yeah, it looked like Gerber and Vergara just kind of both going for the ball, and miscue there. Wasn't sure who was going to kind of take the lead there.
Long ball now toward midfield, headed down. McGoey now trying to go around Pearson. Cleared away, and we're going to have another foul called. A lot of whistles here in these last few minutes, Coach.
Yeah, and I think that one, if that one's a foul, it's probably a yellow card. Their stud showing and coming in late. I would say he either got there in time for the ball and it's not a foul, or it's a foul and a card.
Here's Wiles now to the outside for Miranda. Overshot Magalhaes with the ball on the pass, and now it's sent right back into the 18. Now Magalhaes again trying to turn with it. Another foul.
Matt, they're going to have to get him off the field. I think if he picks up another foul, he's going to get sent off. You know, and there again, I mean, studs are showing as he's coming into the ball. Like, I think if he wasn't already on a card, that's probably a card with the way the game is right now.
A ball over the top. Schenkel will come off of his line, and now he'll stop it. He'll play it outside now for Miranda.
You know, the last thing you want to do is take one of your subs off. You know, you want to, if you're going to make substitutions, you want to get guys on that.
Here's Ruiz now. And now another foul as Ruiz had his legs taken out from under him.
The card is already out. I didn't see which player clipped him, Matt.
Game is really bogged down here, Coach, over the last about 10, 15 minutes. Really no flow to speak of here.
Yeah.
We're in the 78th minute. As Ruiz is down, I think there's probably going to be a good 3-4 minutes of added time here. So we're probably looking at about another 15, 16 minutes of game action here. But
yeah, I'd say there's at least 4 minutes to be added. You think about just the penalty kick and sort of the communication that led up to it.
And a lot of cards have
We've
been
seen a
also
lot of cards given
in the second half. I spoke too soon when I said it was a clean first half, because it was, but now it's become kind of a foul fest and a whistle fest here in the second 45 as Miranda stands over this one now for the Blue Greens far side. Bending ball in.
Matt, my first rule when taking a free kick, especially from deep, is you have to beat the first defender, and Miranda did not beat the first defender there. It's one of the easiest things you can do as a free kick taker.
The ball to the near side.
Use that first defender as a landmark.
Now here's Magalhaes. Joao Magalhaes coming in now. Cedillo now taking it wide. Raul Cedillo trying to cross it, and DeGrotto coming over defensively. Saved the day there for the Blizzard.
What a play from Devin DeGrotto there.
It'll be a corner kick now for the Blue Greens. We approach the 80-minute mark here. In the meantime, Pritchard will line this one up. Near side flag. Liam Pritchard, back post, and the flag now goes up, and we're going to have a foul called here on the Blue Greens in the 6. In the deck was Seifkin. It'll be a free kick now for the Blizzard.
Yeah, a great play from Devin DeGrotto to close that down. Matt, he came all the way from the left back position and had the angle, but had to cover a lot of ground to get over there and block that attempt from Cedillo.
Goal kick now coming forward. Gerber outside now, Guerrero. Now Pearson. Peter Pearson to the far side for Miranda. Now Ruiz trying to switch the field. Here's Gerber. Guerrero. Now Magales.
Matt, it's so much fun to have a player like Peter Pearson on the squad.
Yeah, like I said, he probably has the best pedigree of any blue-green that they've ever signed over the years in terms of his background and his experience. Like I said, seasoned pro. He's played for several professional clubs in his soccer career. And
a couple different levels of the USL, Matt, and obviously on an international level has even played in some World Cup qualifying competition.
So Raul Cedillo is now going to check out, and here's Felipe Oliveira checking in with about 10 minutes to go. We'll see if he can make a difference. Scored 2 goals against Joy Athletic in the season opener for the Blue Greens. And we know that he can be very dangerous offensively, Coach. And now we're going to have a foul called on Guerrero. And the whistle-happy second half continues here. Free kick sent forward. Pearson for the Blue Greens, lobbing it over the top with the left foot. Now here is Liam Pritchard, who has some room to operate. Pritchard for the Blue Greens, outside the foot, into the middle. Here's Oliveira coming in, getting a shot away. Save was made. And Felipe Oliveira right away.
Almost made his mark.
Yeah, right away. We talked about how dangerous he can be offensively.
Yeah.
Now Miranda taking it in deep. And he'll draw a corner kick. But Felipe Oliveira that close.
How about that first touch from Liam Pritchard there in the open space? Over his right shoulder, takes it down with the right foot into space, right into his stride. Really well done from Liam Pritchard there. And then it just became a foot race, which he's 9 times out of 10, Matt, he's going to win that foot race.
Ruiz, back post. Negrado getting ahead to it. Now Pritchard didn't get as much contact on it as he wanted. Now Pearson will turn and flip it in, and that'll be easy for Seifkin. Blue Greens just can't find that touch in that last third there, Coach. That was close that time. Close as they've been all night.
Yeah, and again, credit to Seifkin for the way he came out.
Now flicked on here by Oliveira. Here's Pritchard. Sending it through. Magales, and just a little too heavy on the touch there. Allowed Seifkin to smother it.
Matt, you remember how I asked for the game to open up?
Yeah.
I was hoping for about 30 minutes ago, but nothing else will take in the last 10 minutes here.
Well, if you're the Blizzard, you're probably, if you can get the point, you'll be pretty happy, I think. As this ball now sent to the far side, and that one will run out.
Well, Matt, now we go back to the penalty decision. We said, well, which would you rather have, right? And obviously the assumption was Duluth would convert on that penalty, but now you go back and think, well, actually Blizzard probably got the better end of it to keep their side at 11 men for the last 22 minutes of the game.
Throw comes in now. Here's Pearson. Sent back into the Duluth end of the field. Luis Vergara will bring it down here for the Blue Greens, the native of Santiago, Chile. Now Pearson measures a ball, angles it to the far side. Looking for Oliveira. Now Magales. And Magales trying to take it in. I would prefer to see him send that to the wing there, Coach, for Oliveira, who was there with him.
Yeah, I wondered about that, Matt. And obviously he pulled the move off, but I just think if you release that ball on the diag to Felipe on the right there, now you've got numbers going forward. And like I said, he pulled the move off, but I still don't know that it was the right decision to me, whenever you're in a counterattack situation, you've got numbers forward, you try to find the 2v1. And I think if he plays out wide to Felipe, he's in a 2v1 versus a 1v1 in the center of the field.
The Blizzard trying to come back. Their pass through. That one intercepted by Guerrero. Now Guerrero.
No idea how he stayed over that ball, Matt. Well done.
Now
from Tyler
another foul
Guerrero.
going to be called, and we're going to have a free kick here coming up 85th minute. See if we can get a potential game winner here from one of these two teams. Here is Pearson. Kyle Gomez, by the way, has checked in. He's the one on the ball right now here for the Blue Greens.
Matt, one of the things you teach players at a young age is every time you play the ball, try to give information. And watch number 32, Peter Pearson, at this level, what he does. Every time he releases the ball, he's directing the traffic in front of him there. And he's releasing the ball, and he's telling the recipient what to do with it and the players how to move off it. It's, like I said, it's fun to have a player at that level and that pedigree and just history, experience on the field. Sort of almost a player coach role for him.
This is Wiles now for Duluth FC. Oliveira's touched the outside looking for Gomez, and now that one will be sent long. Yeah, I have a feeling the Blizzard are going to try to play for a point here, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, you're going to see a lot of that over the next 5 minutes plus change.
Oh, turnover near midfield. Duluth FC taking it back with Pearson. Oliveira.
Really well done from Felipe there.
Magalhaes now carrying. Liam Pritchard now.
Yeah, he was
Blared
looking
back
for
toward
Joao to
midfield.
just carry his underlapping run there, Matt.
Yeah, he held up on it. Pearson now. Miranda. Kyle Gomez. As Miranda takes a spill, so does Gomez, and we'll have a free kick now about 30 yards away from goal here, maybe just under that.
I think he's actually going to go with the original foul, which happened on Miranda a little bit further out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he is.
He
Called probably two.
He initially had allowed it to play on. Again, good piece of officiating from the official there to recognize the play-on situation, but realize that once Miranda went down, the overlap no longer existed, so the numbers up no longer existed, and that's where the foul was called because the advantage really didn't take place.
Gomez now playing it in, and Seifkin being Miranda to that ball. That was close.
Well done from Seifkin there. And not even just on the original ball that he went up with Miranda, but then, I mean, to come down and just smother that ball.
This one now over the top. Schenk heading it wide. Now Wiles, half volley forward. Gomez hits the deck.
Good job from Schenk there, the Duluth keeper, to just come off his line and do away with any trouble.
It's been a very quiet night for Schenk back there. He really hasn't had much to do at all in this game, Coach. Like I said, I'm not sure he's had a shot on target tonight that he's had to deal with. In the meantime, now Duluth FC trying to come forward.
Yeah, but he
We're in the
needed to be
88th minute.
perfect there, Matt, and I think he was.
There's Guerrero. Pearson now for Wiles. Jacob Wiles now for Duluth FC coming forward. And now a foul going to be called. We're in the 89th minute.
Yeah, Matt, be interesting to see how much time they give. Again, I think probably 4 to 5 minutes here for injury time.
Negrado will take the free kick. Magalhaes. Ashton Hostler, by the way, whistled for that foul. He came in as a sub a few moments ago. Now Wiles. And another throw here coming up.
Miranda needs to be smarter there. You're trying to save time. Just get back to the spot where the official wants you. Those ones drive you nuts as a coach, Matt, when you're just trying to get the ball back in play as quickly as possible. Just
now Gomez. Now a yellow card for Kyle Gomez on top of everything else. We're in the 90th minute. We'll see, like I said, how much added time there is. Free kick now, far side. Looks like DeGrotto will take it again here as we're into the added time here portion of the evening. 90 minutes on the clock here at Walt Hunting Stadium. No score.
And of course, who's up to win that one, Matt?
Vergara.
Vergara again, yeah.
Luis Vergara. Oliveira now had the ball taken off his foot, now to the far side. Sounds like they're saying there's going to be 5 minutes of added time here. So we got less than 5 minutes to see if we can get a game winner from one of these two squads. In the meantime now, this one will go out of play, and now they're going to call another foul.
Yeah, Matt, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think that was a foul.
No, I think Joel had possession there. And
I think that's one of those where the referee made up his mind before the play happened.
Yeah.
Now the Blizzard are just going to try to kill as much clock as possible, you would think here. Maybe sneak out a game winner, though, if they can get the opportunity. Here's Company. Pearson knocking that ball down. Now DeGrotto. Miranda now trying to meet him. Nice job by DeGrotto to keep the ball alive. Now the Blue-Greens trying to come back on the counter. And where's the foul call there? My goodness. In the meantime, now here's Pritchard. Liam Pritchard coming in, gets a shot away. That one blocked by traffic. Now Miranda. And now he gets taken out.
Yeah, Matt, there needs to be a couple cards showing. I think he'll go back and card the initial foul.
Yeah, that was a mugging near midfield by the Blizzard on that play. And then Miranda now. Yeah, that was a football attempted tackle there, American football style tackle that was attempted there by the Blizzard.
Yeah, and obviously it's a tactical foul. He's just trying to slow up the play, Matt, but the official deciding to let the play on for advantage, which is the right call.
Kyle Gomez now standing over this one, far side. Plays it low and in, deflects out. It'll be a corner kick here. Gomez going to take it quickly, I think, here. High arcing ball in the 6-yard area, headed away. Pearson. And now Gomez lost his footing, and that kind of sums up the night right there.
Yeah, and Peter did such a good job to recover on that ball and get his hips around it and play that backup line. Unfortunately, Kyle just lost his footing as he tried to turn.
Throw coming in now. Headed back by the Blue-Greens. Magalhaes, now that's going to be a handball here call against Company. It'll be another free kick here coming up.
Matt, I wonder if they'll bring all the forces up here. I would think you probably bring Jacob Wiles up, get his head on one. He's probably the tallest player on the field.
Pearson now to the outside. Pritchard. Now Gomez. Liam Pritchard on the right foot. Back now for Gomez.
Yeah,
and now a foul going to be called, and that's just, like I said, that's been the
Can't-
night for Duluth FC. Just very,
Can't follow there. Again, you're just taking time off the clock, and
well, some of the decision-making hasn't been great either, Coach, if I'm being perfectly honest. That ball needs to come right into, you have to try to get that ball into the middle, especially at this juncture of the game.
yeah,
There might not have been room there, but you have to at least look to do it.
It's a frustrating play when you don't get any service on it, right?
And another foul call, so one more play at least here. Miranda on the outside. And that'll be another foul.
Matt, surprised there's not a card there. With the way things have been carded in the second half here.
Well, the game has really kind of broken down here in some ways here, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, it just has the feel of one of those early league games.
Pritchard hitting it toward the back post. Now head back across the face of goal. They score!
Miranda's going to get a card.
Yeah, Teddy Miranda's going to get a card on that one, but he
Is he on
scores the
card?
goal.
I don't remember everybody who's gotten one.
Let's go back and see who got the header on the back post. But it is Miranda who will get the goal.
I think it was Vergara, Matt.
Was it Vergara who got the header back
Vergara that
across?
got the-
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can go back here.
So Miranda gets the goal for the Blue Greens. Can't be more than a couple of kicks left here. He'll get the yellow card, but I think he'll be happy to get his first goal as a Blue Green there, especially if it ends up being the game winner.
Man, I can't see numbers. It might have been Joao.
Now cross coming in. Grabbed here by Schenk. And that'll do it. That's the final kick in Duluth FC, and what became a bit of a slog, admittedly at times, finds just enough to get the goal on the death of the contest here from Teddy Miranda in about the 95th minute. And they will win it by the score of 1-0. Full 3 points for Duluth FC. Minnesota Blizzard probably feeling like they were a little bit hard done by bad luck tonight, losing that one by that same score of 1-0. But wasn't pretty, but you take the result and you move on, Coach.
Yeah, man, I was just going to say, you know, as they were lining up for that free kick, it just kind of had the feeling of one of those games, early season games. Not everything is clicking. You kind of have some of those rough moments, and then you go and work out the kinks. And if you have to give up a couple points early in the season to do that, you'll sacrifice now. But that said, it also had the feeling of like, are they going to steal one here at the end? And sure enough, kind of right on cue. You know, my dad always said, Matt, great teams win even when they're not at their best, and I think this is definitely a case of one of those nights where, you know, the perseverance and just sort of the mentality kind of showed through for Duluth, and it wasn't pretty. It certainly wasn't perfect, but Duluth will take the result and the 3 points.
Game-winning goal from Teddy Miranda coming in the 95th minute on a ball from the outside that was started by Liam Pritchard. He crossed the ball in, then was headed back across the 6-yard area. And for the first time, the Blue Greens found just enough space. The poke went into the back of the net past Minnesota Blizzard keeper Evan Seifkin, and as a result, that goal. Teddy Miranda's, by the way, his first goal as a Blue Green coming in the 95th minute, like I said, on the death of the contest here, just before the final whistle. And that proves to be the winning margin as Duluth FC wins at 1-0. And like you said, Coach, it was a struggle all night long. Duluth FC never really, it felt like, got a foothold in the game. Had a couple of good looks, I think at times in that second half. Of course, Felipe Oliveira had a really good look at one point in the second half. Raul Cedillo also had a potential opening goal that was called off on an offside in the first half. He also had a cross into the sixth that was really well dealt with on a nice defensive play by the Blizzards' Devin DeGrotto. But through it all, through about 95 minutes of action tonight, Duluth FC still, despite all that, finds a way to get the win. Lots of whistles, lots of fouls, lots of cards in that second half, but you add it all up, and it's another 3 points for the Blue Greens. They remain unbeaten. Their third win of the campaign in their first 4 contests of the season, and they move on, like I said, still unbeaten in MPSL North action at 2-0.
And hey, two clean sheets in a row, Matt.
2 clean sheets in a row, so Duluth FC wins it 1-0. Up next for the Blue Greens, they'll need Bex in action here on Saturday, May 31st. That'll be our next broadcast, by the way, taking on the Iowa Demon Hawks, newcomers to the MPSL North Conference here in 2025. 7 p.m., the opening kick. Yours truly be on with the pregame starting at 6:45. Big thank you to everybody who tuned in. Also a big thank you to the rest of our crew here, including head coach Joe Mooney and our production engineer John Benton. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we hope you'll join us again on Saturday night as the 2025 campaign continues to roll along for Duluth FC. So for John Benton and Coach Joe Mooney, this is Matt Johnson one more time repeating the final score. The Blue Greens win it on a last-second goal by Teddy Miranda. Final score here, the Blue Greens won, Minnesota Blizzard FC nothing. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be talking again on Saturday. This has been Duluth FC Soccer, brought to you by the Blue Greens Dream Team on the Stadium Sports Network.